Get into it. Still Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. We got Joe Rogan talking about all the money that Kamala Harris has spent. $1 billion and you're $20 million in debt. Oh, 10 million on Beyonce. Oh, but also within this clip, Jamie enters the conversation and he's just trying to downplay everything Joe and his guest Jeff Dyer are talking about. Very interesting stuff, you know. That Jamie is deep state. I don't know if you guys know this in the podcast. So he's definitely podcast deep state, 100%. Let's get into these clips. Then I'm going to show you another clip from Elon Musk talking about how these Hollywood endorsements happen. And then we're going to play a clip from Patrick Bet-David breaking everything down. Let's get into it.
Let me ask you, on air for this podcast, how much money did Donald Trump give you to endorse him?
$100 million.
No, he didn't.
He gave me nothing.
Gave you zero, Joe.
Gave me nothing.
He gave you zero because you thought, I think that this is what's best for the country, given the two options.
I knew the resistance that it would face, but
how
I think
much did Beyonce get?
She got $10 million.
$10 million?
But hold on. She talked for like 3 minutes. That's good.
What do you mean that's good?
I mean, that's enough.
That's too much.
No, it's plenty. It's perfect.
10 million.
It's a good deal. The taxpayers' money. I mean, it's a good deal. All these people that are like donating money to the Democratic Party, and they're $20 million in debt. Here's the crazy thing:
mutants.
They're $20 million. They spent $1 billion. They're $20 million in debt, and Trump offered to pay their debt. He's like, we have a lot of money left over because most of our media he called it earned media. I had to look it up. So earned media is essentially whenever he's in the news, or when he's getting interviewed on shows or on podcasts. That's earned media, and that's what he did.
Well, I just love people go, why are you getting so passionate about this, Jeff? It's like it's right in front of your eyes.
Right.
If you have to pay someone $10 million to endorse A, but then like B is doing it for free because they believe in that like idea. Which one seems more nefarious?
Bro, Eminem took 1.8.
1.8.
Is that real?
How do we know that's true?
Because I said it.
None of it
I've
not found any evidence that supports this stuff.
I think it's all legit.
Some of them being asked and said I was not paid.
But wait a minute, Oprah was paid. There was an FEC thing.
Her company was paid to host an event.
Okay. They paid her company $1 million, dude.
I'm just saying that's
right.
I don't know what happened and where they hosted it. And how many people were involved. I'm just she was not paid. Her company was paid.
$1 million? What did she do that hosted an event? Did she put together an event, like cater an event?
Campaign finance. I'll try to put it on the screen. Show that they paid Harpo Productions for event production. It's paid for post live stream an event. Which I don't know how much that costs.
Production costs of a live stream event. That could be money.
Said she was not paid a personal fee for the event. She said I was paid nothing.
Right, but she didn't donate her company to do this. She got paid for it.
That's right. I don't know. Like,
so this is where I got it.
So she got a gig. Is essentially what it is. She got a $1 million gig.
$5 million to Megan Thee Stallion. $3 million to Lizzo, 1.8 for Eminem.
I know that's in this article, but it doesn't show like where.
And $1 million for Oprah.
That could be made up.
Okay,
yeah, it says an Instagram list.
Well, I didn't make it up, but that's what I read. So yeah,
I want it to be real.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
I want it to be real.
Yeah. Well, if it makes me believe in our Earth better if they didn't. If they just did it for free.
It makes me believe in the Earth better if they did it, because I don't want to think that Eminem really believed that.
Yeah, exactly. It's always naughty people that do this.
I wouldn't think you went out there for 1.8.
There's
no federal records showing campaign payments to Eminem or Megan Thee Stallion. So when it says mostly false, like where did that rumor emanate from?
Someone put it on Instagram, and it goes around. People run wild with it because it sounds fun.
Damn. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it is fun. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to, I read it and my blood boiled. I was like, what is going on?
The Beyonce one is crazy.
There's no evidence that it's true. It might be true. Doesn't mean it's not. Just no current evidence.
No current evidence.
Today.
Okay. Mostly false, but this is PolitiFact.
Yeah, it could be a rumor that
PolitiFact is sketch.
Okay. Well, if it's not true, then it's not true.
But
let me tell you, if it is true, that's
legal?
Crazy.
Is that legal? Is it legal to pay Beyonce $10 million to talk at a political rally?
I don't think so. There's all these like little companies.
Why would they pay her that much? That seems crazy. That does seem crazy.
Desperate times.
Yeah, but she doesn't need the money.
No, I'm saying desperate times for the campaign trail, and then they go, I was going to endorse her anyways. I'll just do it for, a little fee. My time is worth money. My private plane costs money. Can you cover that,
Well, it seems suspicious, because when someone's got that kind of money, to do something that people are going to look down upon if they find out if it's true, that's what makes me skeptical. Because like someone who has that kind of money, for her, $10 million, it sounds crazy to say this, but I believe that for Beyonce and Jay-Z, $10 million is not noticeable. It's not going to change their life at all.
No, change their life, but you still notice. Like
I think they're billionaires, dude.
Beyonce's got almost $1 billion.
Yeah, and I think he has $1 billion as well.
Interesting.
I don't think they're going to notice. So that's like not going to change your lifestyle.
But it could get you out of your house to go do a thing that puts you in the news.
Is that what you want?
Well, think about the Super Bowl. All those people that perform at the Super Bowl halftime get paid $0.
Right, but
why
it's
do they do it?
Tremendous advertisement.
Because they do it.
But they perform. She wasn't even performing.
Yeah.
She was just talking. I mean, maybe $10 million is $10 million. You can't help it, even if you got $2 billion in the bank. But part of me is like, maybe I'm just looking at how I would look at it. Like, I wouldn't do.
Yeah. Well, I always think, and this may be my naivety to like rich people, is that like they don't have to be bought anymore because they're rich. Like you'd think that. That's how I think about it. Is that like I wouldn't do anything against. It's easier to do things against my moral compass when I was broke. Right. You'd say, Jeff, we'll give you $500. Go steal this thing, because I'd be like, I need $500. Whereas like now I can be a little more generous with my money. I can be a little more ethical because I'm in a place where I don't have to worry about the $500 isn't worth breaking some ethical code for me.
Right, but money isn't your existence. For some people, money is a sum score of how well they're doing in life, and they get addicted to numbers. They get addicted to this idea of it's constantly, and they compare themselves to all the other people.
This is from Fox News. They have Washington Examiner reporting that money was spent in ways, I guess you could argue, maybe.
Well, they spent six figures building the set for Call Her Daddy, but that seems that people are saying that's outrageous, but that's not that outrageous. $100,000, you build a set, you have to lease a building, you have to bring in cameras and all that shit. I could see that being $100,000. Campaign spent at least $15 million on event production, FEC records show, with many payments lining up with high-profile events and concerts with celebrity attendees or performers.
And that's how you do it, because it's a performance.
Right. So you pay them
so you
for
can
performing.
pay them to perform. That's the difference.
That's the difference. The truth is just an epic disaster. This is a $1 billion disaster. Lindy Lee, Harris surrogate, and DNC National Finance Committee member told Fox and Friends Weekend on Saturday. So they just definitely spent a lot of money. Harris campaign cut multiple six-figure paychecks in September for left-leaning groups that have been vocal about defunding the police, reparations that are tied to radical activists who have supported notorious anti-Semite Louis Farrakhan, Fox News digitally previously reported. That's wild. So they cut checks to left-leaning groups. So they spend money to get people to talk about
things. They give
things.
it to the groups pay the performers and the people that speak.
Well, no, also the groups, like you're paying them to be vocal.
Yeah.
Like by saying I cut multiple six-figure checks, like you're funding these people to go out and do these things. The FEC filings also spent north of $56 million on payroll and payroll taxes in just 3 months. Yeah. That's crazy.
That payroll is your performers.
Filings also show the campaign gave in excess of $100 million to various consulting and marketing firms, including Gambit Strategies LLC, DuPont Circle Strategies LLC, and Bully Pulpit Interactive LLC. That is so crazy. They gave those folks $100 million.
Yeah, so like $1 million to Eminem could have been lost in there, but I'm just saying that
there it is.
You have to find the evidence to blame
well,
him.
I think with a guy like Eminem too, he doesn't like performing. Celebrities like step up, and they think it's going to get them more movies or something. That's what it is. If you know those people, so many of them are just complete narcissists.
Well, let me tell you how it actually works. There is what happens is, these celebrities they get a call. Okay, they get a call from someone powerful in Hollywood, and that person says, it would be really great if you endorsed Kamala. You don't have to. It's up to you. But if you don't, they don't say it. But if you don't, you're just never going to get a call again. No more movies. No more concerts. But they'll ask it. They'll ask in a really nice way. It'd be really nice if you endorse Kamala. This is important.
And so they don't say that if you don't.
They don't make the threat. They don't need to. But everyone knows what will happen if you don't.
Well, I think there's also, even if they don't think that something's going to happen to them, if they don't, there's this compelling feeling to support this cause that you think is going to get you a bunch of positive attention. And you're going to be on the right side of history, and all these narratives that you, especially from the left in Hollywood, like they're all in on whoever the is the Democrat, always, 100%. There's never a call from the Hollywood machine to support any Republicans. I've never seen it once.
Yeah, never.
So it's like you realize that, and that whole business is based on getting picked. It's the whole business is not necessarily merit based. There's a lot of brilliant actors you never hear from. There's a lot of people who can do that, but they don't get chosen for roles, and everybody knows this, that you have to sort of socialize.
You toe the line or you don't get chosen for the roles, because there's a lot of competition for the roles. That's why I say, like, when someone powerful in Hollywood who's able to choose these roles calls one of these celebrities, they know the deal.
Yeah.
There's no threat is necessary.
Well, you could see it in real time, like with Dennis Quaid when he made that Reagan movie, and they wouldn't let him advertise on social media platforms.
Yeah.
Like, they were banning ads for it.
Yeah.
For what? Because it was an election year. Like, what are you talking about? It's about a guy who's dead.
Yes.
The guy who was the president a long ass time ago. Like, what do you? How does this have anything to do with the election year?
Yeah.
But it's the punishment. It's like you stepped outside the line. You supported the other guy.
Yeah. The problem is you'll just never get a call again for a movie or concert or whatever it is.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's the issue.
I mean, we used to allow people to be a Republican and still be a movie star, like
Reagan.
Clint Eastwood. Reagan, yeah, but Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Like during the Obama administration, Clint Eastwood was like an outspoken Republican and yet was...
I have to say, Elon is 100% right. And I just wanted that clip to be alongside the first clip just so you guys understood that he is... What exactly the way he said it is exactly the way it happens. It's someone who is asking, as nice as Mary Poppins. They're being so nice about it, but you know in your head that if you say no, they won't call you again. Like all the other things dry up. I've worked in film and television. I've worked Hollywood. It's 100%. I was really low level, so it would be like, hey, if you think you could just. I know we said no Saturdays on this show, but we're thinking about like just doing Saturdays for the next 4 weeks, but we just need people. And if you say no, you'll work the rest of that show. But then all of a sudden, that call that you would usually get like a week before your show wraps up, that'll stop. It'll stop. I remember the last show, second last show or the last show I was on, I stood up for myself. And I was fully within my right to. Someone from my department called me. Actually, they messaged me and said they will never be able to work with me again. And I was like, huh. It was the exact same thing. I stood up for myself and somebody right away, I'll never forget it. They're like, oh yeah, I just to let you know. And I was like, I'm like at the show. I'm like, well, what do you mean? And never got calls from those people again. The people who were okay with me standing up for myself, they would call me again for other opportunities, but I moved on to all this. But I remember that. Like that is exactly what Elon said is exactly how it goes every single time. It's such a terrible, terrible industry to be in. So terrible. You have no idea. But what's up with Jamie? Let's just get into this real quick. What's up with Jamie saying that Oprah didn't get paid, or saying any of them didn't get paid, but touching on Oprah saying her company got paid? Like, her company's name is Harpo. You know what the O stands for in Harpo, right? It stands for Oprah. Hey, it's Oprah's company. I have a company. If you pay my company $1 million, hey, happy day for me. Because my company just got $1 million and I have access to my company's money. What? How much money did your company make this year? Well, someone paid my company $1 million. So my company made $1 million this year. Like, what? Like, why is this so hard to iron out? I don't know. I'm just saying, Jamie, come on, man. Come on. You know. And listen, exactly what Elon said. They get that call. Eminem for sure got that call. You have to remember, these people, I always call these celebrities, they're like pets because they're under contract. They're still under contract. They have handlers that just walk into a room and just say, hey, you know what would be great? Exactly like Elon said, it'd be great if he supported Kamala Harris. She's having it'd be great. I could so see you on stage doing that. And you're just like, I don't know about that. And they're like, okay, well, I got the contract. Just remember, you're kind of contractually, you gotta, I'm just saying, if you break the contract, then, it's a whole bunch of legal stuff. We don't even want to get into that. Let's just go ahead and head over to the Kamala Harris rally. That's a real thing. And don't worry, you'll be compensated. It's still business, but you have to do it. You're still going to get paid. Like in those situations that I'm talking about in Hollywood, you still get paid. Somebody coerces you to do it in this unspoken way, but you still make money. It's not like they expect you to do anything for free. They just want you to do what you're told. It's very interesting. Well, it's not even interesting. It's very sinister the way that it all works. And it grinds people into the ground, and it separates people from their families. And it has Eminem just ruining every single one of his songs for me. Thanks. But that's how it is. That I'm telling you, man, that handler comes in and just says, "Who wants to go on tour? Huh? Who's gonna be a good boy, go on tour?" They put that contract up like a leash. They say, "Come on, who's a good boy? Who wants to go on tour? Who's gonna go on tour for the next 6 months and not sleep? Who wants to do it?" And they better do it. You think it's Eminem, so you're like, "Oh, he doesn't make much music." He's still under contract. You think it's Beyonce because she's this huge star. She still has a contract. They're still Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla. I think it was Takeoff or Quavo from the Migos. They're all on contract. So they have these people who can pull them around and make them do things. Still pay them. And for sure they did. Because if you're a handler, it's like, why am I getting this person to do this? If I'm the person that owns that contract or made that contract up, why am I getting Eminem to do this? Or you're paying him. Okay, now my company makes money. That's the way it goes. 100%. Sorry for my TED Talk there. Trump actually did say, and not even in as brash of a way as Joe Rogan led it to seem, he did say, "I'm very surprised that the Democrats, who fought hard and valiant fight in 2020 presidential election, raising a record amount of money, didn't have lots of money left over. Now they are being squeezed by vendors and others. Whatever we can do to help them during this difficult period, I strongly recommend we as a party, and for the sake desperately needed unity, do. We have a lot of money left over." It's amazing. He actually, in the name of unity, is offering to pay off their debts. That's crazy. I don't know if I could do it. I appreciate that he's doing it. I don't know if I could do it. This is the same party with the lawfare and this and that. It's incredible. Now, we've been talking about this whole thing. Did they pay them? Did they not? We're going to go over to a different podcast where they're all in agreement sitting here. Even Chris Cuomo, they're all in agreement that these celebrities did in fact get paid. Let's listen to this.
Go to Twitter. This one fellow did a tweet breaking down the numbers on how each camp spent money. If you can just go to my profile, Robin, and I retweeted it. Just go to mine. And yeah, if you can go lower. So you hear this, keep going lower, keep going lower, keep going lower, keep going lower, 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 lower. You'll see it. They're right there. Okay, so Justin Blinson, let's give him a shout out. So Justin, wonder who is painting a better picture for America. Campaign spending. Trump raised $381, spent $354. Only $10.4 million was spent on staff. Kamala, billion, spent $1.37 billion. $582 was spent on staff.
Can I say something about once?
Let me just say, I'm going to come straight to you right after this because if you can, when you go like a guy asked me a question, hey, can you give some money to our charity? What percentage of the money is spent on staff? It's the first question I ask. If you can send me what percentage of the money is spent on staff, I'll give you the money. Oh, our CEO makes $670. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not doing that because the money's not going to the people. Okay. Oh, we don't spend that much money on staff. It's this much. No problem. Here's $50K. Here's $10K. Here's $100K. Based on what's being spent. When you see a structure like this and numbers like this, and then you get stories that they give apparently Beyonce $10 million. They give Call Her Daddy $100,000 to build a studio that they could have built for what, $5,000, Rob, or whatever that was. They gave Oprah Winfrey $1 million. I bet Oprah's pissed off that they gave Beyonce 10 times what they gave her. Now, these are numbers that we're reading about, right? Is this the one, Rob?
Yeah.
Play this clip and I'll go to Charlie. Go ahead.
$10 million for Beyonce to step up
and back Kamala Harris publicly. $5 million for Megan Thee Stallion, $3 million for Lizzo, $1.8 million for Eminem. I mean, is that normally how it goes? You spend $20 million, you get yourself in debt to try to get a bunch of rich celebrities on stage? I'd never seen that. Maybe I'm ignorant of the fact, but wow.
Charlie.
A couple thoughts. So we ran one of the more criticized and now very silent outside groups that helped Donald Trump. So we had a super PAC and a 501c4, and we were attacked. And you guys can look at the articles almost every day. Donald Trump's unproven ground game. You probably saw these articles, right, Chris? I mean, it was a narrative, right? That Donald Trump does not have a ground game. Well, they were talking about what Turning Point and Elon were doing, and we would continually tell the media, like, well, we're actually delivering results. We've registered tens of thousands of people. We're chasing ballots. And the Kamala campaign was running this massive op where a lot of consultants made money, where they'd be like, well, we knocked on 18 million doors this weekend or something. And I'd say, well, how many ballots did you put in the box? I mean, how many votes did you actually bank in the early voting period? And we were able to disclose all those numbers in real time as they were happening. And something is amiss. Somebody made a lot of money on this Kamala campaign, like a lot. I don't know who, but I could tell you, being around campaigns a lot, $1 billion spent in 90 days and ending up in debt with very, very little to show for it, it's highly unusual. And it is the opposite of what happened in 2020. And again, the Trump campaign team deserves great credit. In 2020, the Trump campaign team ran out of money and was bankrupt by late September. You can find that article, Trump campaign team financial woes 2020. It was like September or October. Donald Trump in 2020, he started with $1 billion cash advantage, and that team spent it almost all the way down, right? If you could go, it's. I'm sure you can find it somewhere there. Yeah, in financial peril. Yep, that's it right there. How Trump's $1 billion campaign lost its cash advantage. New York Times. What's the date there on that article?
September 7th, 2020.
My memory's right on. And that's Shane and Maggie, the two best that the New York Times has to offer on this. And literally, Trump was in a financially perilous position. The Trump campaign saved their powder and was able to then outspend the Kamala campaign the last 2 weeks. The final point I'll make is this. All those totals don't count the outside money for Kamala Harris. It doesn't count the super PACs. It doesn't count the 501c4s. And it goes to show that money cannot alone win a White House, that a movement can triumph over a well-funded machine.
Yeah, that's true. And it always has been. Look, my father lost.
Oh, we're not listening to Chris Cuomo today, guys. Oh, we're not listening to Chris Cuomo today, guys. Nope. That's not what we're doing, actually. I just wanted you guys to see that part Patrick Bet-David was talking about, and that amazing little mini speech that Charlie Kirk went into. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to these two campaigns, Kamala Harris, when it comes to the respect of both candidates and the allure of both candidates, Kamala had none. She's not respected by Beyonce. Eminem doesn't respect her. Eminem just doesn't like Trump. He'll still take the money because they had the money to spend. Same with Beyonce. Same with every single celebrity you saw standing next to Kamala Harris on that stage. I would be surprised if Barack Obama even took a payment. I don't know that he did, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone was like, oh, you said $500K. I'd be like, oh, well, you know. Nobody respects her enough to just do these things for free. You know? Everybody milked it. And you know what? The amount of money, it just seems very odd. I don't know. You know, I think Charlie even brought it up. It just seems like somebody made a bunch of money. Not going to say who. I have no idea. But it seems like it's just way too much to just up and be gone. But whatever. Maybe they did. Maybe they had to. You know, maybe all those conspiracies about her loading up buses filled with people, all those conspiracies where there were people on TikTok who were like, I found this ad and I found a connection between the people who are asking, you know, people to come to rallies and they're going to pay for their food and board and this and that. Maybe all that was real. Maybe we weren't crazy. Maybe it just took a little bit of that time that it always takes for a conspiracy theory to become true. Maybe that's what's happened. And you know what? I think that is what's happened. Why on earth would anybody look at what Kamala Harris was offering, what she was talking about, Hear what Trump's offering. Hear what Trump's talking about in regards to what they want to do for the country. Forget about the funny stuff and the insults or whatever. Why would you hear both sides? Why would you look at Kamala and Tim and Trump and JD and think I'm going with Kamala? Why would you do that as a celebrity, as one of the millionaires that she kept saying is going to pay for all the things that she wanted to do? Come on, man. Come on. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, my notifications, our notifications. Helps the channel tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.